Hello, Ali. Thank you so much for joining us. I know this is going to be really helpful for people to listen to your story. So, all right. So first of all, let's start off. Would you like to tell me a bit about what you were like, what symptoms you had, and how long you had them? And
Yeah, so I had many different symptoms. So initially, it was during exam period. I started getting pain in the lower back, and then it just kept expanding and going to different places. So 3 weeks later, it was in my neck and like shoulder blades. After that, I started getting pain in my wrist and then elbow, and then I started getting nerve pain in my hand as well. I mean, I had all this for 2 years. Eventually, I started getting sciatica pain from my lower back down to my foot.
so what did you, presumably you tried various conventional therapies first and seen doctors and specialists?
First, I saw a GP in the UK. It didn't help. I went to 5 or 6 different physiotherapists, and each one of them, I would stay with them for maybe 4 months or something like that. And then once I realized that, it's not helping, I just move on to the next one. I've done all kinds of, scans like MRI, X-ray, EMG, those nerve tests. I have scoliosis in my spine. I also have disc bulge. I mean, if you read the MRI reports, there's so many things, right? And it makes you feel like, you're about to collapse at the moment.
It's worrying, isn't it? When you think that that's the cause, yes.
I saw about maybe 12 different specialists, neurosurgeons, neurologists, and then each one had his own, interpretation of the results, if you like.
And how did you come across this work then?
I think I came across it a long time ago. I came across it probably for like 5 seconds or something, and just read it through, and then I'm like, okay, this doesn't apply to me, and this went away.
That's very common.
When I really came across it, it was when my pain has become so severe when I had sciatica, and I literally wasn't able to like sit down or walk or anything really. And I think my sister was telling me about a friend of hers that was doing some yoga. He had similar kind of situation, and for some reason he was doing some yoga, and then it was helping him. That's what she told me, right? So then I went online and I actually went out to seek some kind of mind-body relation. This is how I came across it. I read the Healing Back Pain initially, and then I read the second one,
Mind-Body Prescription. Yeah.
That's right. Just the moment I finished reading the book, I was maybe 30% healed or something like that. It pretty much was very descriptive of my life. Everything I read in the book, it really applied to me. I mean, even before I read the book, I already felt better because just by reading, the reviews on Amazon, it was the first time I actually see online, someone with similar situation that managed to heal.
Absolutely, yeah. What did you find most helpful? Actually, do it through the actual program. What were the things that you found most helpful?
I think first of all, to have someone that knows about all this and guiding you. I think that's really important because if you're doing it, on your own, you might have your doubts at some point about the concept. Also, some concepts that I misunderstood from Sarno's book that you explained to me. Mostly to do with journaling and things like that.
Right.
All the content in it, on how to deal with, current stresses, not just, past stresses.
Because you were going through a lot of change at the time, weren't you?
Yeah, so I was moving a job. I just left my job, and I was moving countries, and there were a lot of things going on at the time.
Were there any particular strategies that you found most helpful?
There's quite a few. I mean, well, first of all, journaling, I think, is quite helpful. Meditation, I still do that till today.
Excellent.
Physical activity, just getting back to the physical activity, that was probably the most important.
Tell us how you did that. How did you get back into doing more exercise?
Yeah, so the first time, for example, I sat down, I mean, that for me was a physical activity, right?
Yeah, so, absolutely.
So sitting down, yeah, initially, you get this backlash where you get some pain, because you've been conditioning yourself to think that you are gonna get pain, right? So when I sat down, yeah, I did get some pain, but you do it day after day, and then eventually it becomes second nature, and you don't think about it, and that's when it stops coming back.
Yeah.
And then after that, my next one was to run, and I was able to run maybe 3 or 4 weeks after I read the book.
Wow.
And that was a very scary experience. I just knew that, I believed in the concept so much that
Absolutely.
I really didn't care. I really had nothing to lose, because I wasn't able to, function properly anyway. So what could I lose from it?
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, after that, I started doing all harsher physical activity, like boxing and then going to the gym eventually. But yeah, also another thing I found very helpful is to like that video that I sent you for boxing.
Yeah.
Because I recorded it, I was able to rewatch it myself. That was a big reinforcement for me. The reason I went for boxing is also because it's like a quite harsh sport. So if I can see myself doing it, then obviously sitting down isn't going to be a problem anymore. So
absolutely. Ali, what would you say would be the biggest challenge that you faced over your whole progress? What was the biggest hiccup or the biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge is towards the end when you're healed so much. You're still attached to the pain, and you're not gonna be able to let it go quite easily.
Okay.
Because for me, I've lived, in pain for 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that became like a habit.
Yeah.
That I'm expecting it.
Mm.
So to be able to get out of that habit was the biggest challenge. That took the longest time.
How different is your life now, or how you live your life now from before you got the pain? Because this isn't just a recovery program, is it? This is about understanding the mind, body, and actually looking after ourselves so that we don't end up in the same situation.
Even before the pain started, I had other symptoms which I didn't really connect at the time, like as I told you, lactose intolerance and other stuff. But anyway, yeah, you get to really understand a lot of things about your mind and how it works, and it's almost as if it was worth the 2 years of pain, to be able to have that understanding of how things work in your body. I'm working out a lot more. I lost like a lot of weight as well.
When it comes to personality, Ali, did you find that was playing had much of an impact with your pain?
Definitely. So I was, a perfectionist, hardworking, people pleaser, that kind of personality type. And I think that this kind of personality type brings a lot of inner stress. It makes you repress a lot of emotions instead of just, venting it out. And in the process of, the whole healing, eventually I had to change, my personality. I feel a lot happier when I'm not a people pleaser, when I'm not always trying to be, perfect or working really hard. I had a setback not long ago, about a month ago, lower back pain. But I think the reason why this happened is because over the 2 weeks before that period, I stopped journaling, I stopped doing meditation. I just, didn't care anymore. I was a bit too cocky about the whole thing. It was after I was doing a back workout. So the day after a back workout. So because I actually did think that I injured it from the back. So that's why it took me a whole week until after a week, I said, okay, this is definitely TMS. I'm just gonna, do what I do with TMS, and then it went away.
But meanwhile, you started putting yourself first and taking care of you again, presumably.
Yeah, that's right. So I learned my lesson.